and welcome to another Akadaka episode of Only Look Thin.
Akadaka.
Welcome. Okay, I said what I said. Okay, I'm not going to say it again. But we only look thin. I am one of your hosts, Catherine Weigel. I am a Tiny Habit certified coach, a Thrive Global certified coach. I've lost over 100 pounds. I kept it off for over 7 years. And with me today is the DW to my CW,
Donald Weigel. Is that like a the Siwa episode of We Only Look Thin? I'm trying to think of what DWCW sounds like. Anyway, I am one of your hosts of the show. She's giving me a look like have four heads.
One girl says Akadaka, and then suddenly my husband doesn't. After all these years, you don't understand me?
Yeah,
you don't have to understand, just laugh. Who are you? What do you want?
That's fair. I want to salute those about to walk. I am here to talk about fitness and losing weight, and I've lost some weight, and I'm here to talk about it, and, all that stuff.
Okay, so you would never see me walking around town wearing an AC/DC shirt.
No, I guess not.
Donald and I were talking yesterday about how they have a couple of good bops.
Yeah, I know. There's probably like 6 to 8 really good songs.
But I can't say that I like AC/DC. Right. I'm not going to go listen to them, but Thunderstruck comes on.
Oh my goodness.
What is even happening?
Thunderstruck is genuinely one of my probably 3 to 5 favorite songs of all time.
The beginning of that song is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Saturday Night Live. Like Saturday Night Live happens every single week, and the beginning is usually really good, and then it goes on a little bit too long.
Yeah,
I think most AC/DC, they should stop at the AC, because with the DC at the end of it, I'm just like, okay, I get it. But then
look, they are on record as being giant fans of both alternating current and direct current. They're big science nerds, those guys.
Okay, so speaking of there being fans of the AC and the DC, both, they get along both very well.
That's right. You don't have to just pick one. You don't have to be an importer and an exporter.
Exactly.
You could do both.
Right. So I was looking up interesting trivia because I like bringing good information to the people who listen to We Only Look Thin.
That's true. That's our main thing, is bringing good information.
Right. And again, the internet is not a place to be trusted at all. But one of the bits of trivia was that in Australia, from whence they herald.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
very
in
fancy.
Australia. And we have friends in Australia, actual real friends in Australia.
Yes, we do.
I didn't feel like bothering them with this question, so I didn't actually ask them, but maybe I'll do it at some point. One of the bits of trivia was that AC/DC in Australia are often referred to as Akadaka.
Really?
Yeah. They always say Oz or Kaz, or they're always abbreviating things, or they don't really say full words.
I know a guy's name is Jonathan, and he's Jaws or something.
Yeah, Don would be Daz, or it'd be Kaz, or whatever. They shorten things.
They love chicken parm down there too.
They do.
They love chicken parm down there.
That's what we know. We actually do have members of WOLT who are Australian, so I'm going to have to watch my
I'm a big fan of Australia. We watch Australian television.
We do.
Yeah.
They are very much like America.
I think culturally they're I don't know if this would be insulting to them. I think they're much closer culturally to America than any of the European countries.
Well, and I think as I sort of reflect on myself and I like to bridge gaps. Don't you think? Don't you think I'm
yes, you're a gap bridger.
Extend olive branches to people.
Yes.
And I want to find connections. And I have to say that I really respect that Angus Young, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy who wears the schoolboy outfit.
Yes, I believe so. Look, I'm not the biggest AC/DC expert, but yes, I'm pretty sure you're correct.
Okay. What I love about them is that they see someone. That someone has not yet rocked, but they anticipate that person is going to rock.
Right.
And before they even get to the rocking, they're brandishing a salute.
They're saluting them.
For those who are about to rock, they haven't yet rocked. they're like, yes, we recognize that element and we're saluting you about that.
This is an anticipatory salute.
An anticipatory salute.
Of your about to rockness.
They haven't said, the song isn't, after you've rocked, I will salute you.
Yeah,
but until then, I will say nay.
We're not going to wait to see how well you've rocked or how hard you've rocked. We're going to salute you before you've even begun to rock.
You have showed up to rock. Like, we can tell because you've got the equipment. You've got the bass. You've got the drumsticks.
You've got the look on your face.
You've got the look on your face. Yeah. Exactly. You're wearing the schoolboy outfit.
That's right. You've got the outfit on, the whole thing.
Right. And we're going to salute you before you've even done it. And so in classic, We Only Look Thin form.
Yeah.
We are, okay, like, it's happening.
Yeah.
You haven't listened to this episode yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's happening, but you don't even know what it's about yet.
That's right.
We are saluting you. This is a salute to the listener.
That's right.
We are saluting you, dear listener.
A podcast salute.
Because we are fairly confident that you are about to walk.
That's right.
Like, you have shoes. You are limber. You are ready to walk, and we are going to salute you for it. But
you might need to stretch a little bit first.
Might need to, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
You need to salute yourself.
Oh.
You need to salute yourself. If you're really going to walk, saluting yourself is where it starts.
The most important salute of all is the one that you give yourself.
Exactly. No, but it really is. Like, we have talked before about, like, I will be proud of myself once I've done the thing that I said I was going to do. And this literally, when Donald started this journey venture, he'd lost a few pounds and he was working really hard. And I said, I am so proud of you. And Donald said, don't
be proud of me yet.
Don't be proud of me yet. And so
a really crummy thing to say.
And so
that's where I was at that point.
With great flourish, I said, I cannot wait to be proud of you.
Right.
I am not proud of you yet, but I look forward to being proud of you. Not now, but in the future.
For the next couple of years, she talked about how she was looking forward to someday being proud of me.
And that taught you a very valuable lesson.
Yes, it really did. It really did.
A lesson you are still learning today.
That's right. About who to pick as your spouse.
It's too late, man.
Yeah, no, I'm in too deep.
Okay, but I believe, if I may, after all these years.
Oh, you may.
Okay, so at one point, Donald had been working out with a personal trainer.
Yeah.
He was getting pretty strong, and he was running, and then life got in the way. And then he was not doing much of anything.
Yeah. Well, I really hated, like, I genuinely hated nearly every second of working out with that trainer. I enjoyed the results I was getting. But I dreaded every single time I was about to go work out with the trainer, because it was just painful, and it was full of mind games, and it was like, okay, one more. Okay, now one more. Okay, now one more after that. And the constant, like, I mean, literally being told, like, okay, so eat like 4 almonds. Like, 4 almonds.
Oh my gosh.
And a protein shake instead of a meal. And, I got good results in air quotes, but I just couldn't stand it. And so eventually I stopped doing any of it.
Right.
And I gained a whole bunch of weight.
Well, and also we had just become parents. There's a lot that happened in between the working out and gaining weight. But I think that when we feel like we're starting over and we've had a lot of success in the past, whether we enjoyed it or hated it, when we're starting up again, we tend to compare ourselves to the last peak version of ourselves. We compare ourselves to the last day of the best workout we ever had.
Yeah.
Whether it is, I was benching X amount of weight and I was running 4 miles a day. When we're starting over, imagine that we need to get back to that ultimate peak version of ourselves. And that is a problem. We compare ourselves to the best version of ourselves, not the one that is just starting out.
Well, and I think also as we get older, I mean, I am 55 now, and I have this tendency, and I think a lot of us do, this tendency to think back about what I was capable of exercise-wise when I was in my 20s and 30s and even 40s. And, you know, as I'm getting older, I'm still like in the game, but it's not nearly as easy as it used to be.
Well, and we have a version of ourselves kind of in our head of when we were at our peak. So maybe it was pre-kids, pre-moving to the suburbs, pre-pandemic, pre-injury, pre-burnout, like this version of ourselves that we hold almost in, and we've talked about before, in that toxic nostalgia. We look back at it not as inspiration, but as this like albatross around our necks of like, if only I hadn't gone through a pandemic. Like, if only I hadn't like moved to the suburbs, gotten married, gotten a job that was sedentary. Like, if only I could go back to that, then I would be happy with myself. But we tell ourselves, if I can't get back to that right now, then everything else is a failure. And why bother even starting? Because it's too embarrassing. So the us of today feels shame. And we compare ourselves to the peak day 999 of our efforts instead of going back to that day one version of ourselves, because all of us started somewhere, but we discount that and go immediately to the peak version of ourselves. I used to do Orange Theory 5 times a week. I used to run 5 miles a day. I can't even like bend at the waist right now without groaning.
Right.
And I lost all that I had, so why even bother? It's too big of a mountain to climb.
Yeah, exactly. And that mindset keeps us stuck.
Yeah.
We fantasize about this person that we were, and we like this, then we think this person that we are now is lazy or unmotivated or broken. And what we're really trying to do is to leap ahead without remembering the first steps that we took. And when I started this particular journey, weight loss journey venture, I mean, I guess I've been on it my whole life, but, you know, this particular time that I count from, you know, about 2016, when I, you know, really got my head together and got my mindset straight and was also diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I like the idea of joining a gym was absolutely the worst thing I wanted to do, the last thing I wanted to do, or the idea of going back to that personal trainer and going through that again. And Catherine said to me, why don't we just start with a walk? Why don't we just start like walking our daughter to school? And so that's where it started. And I had this sort of a revelation of like, you know what? Walking is actually exercise, and walking actually burns calories. And that was so much more appealing to me. And it was something that I knew I could keep doing. Even, you know, when things got hard, I knew I could keep walking. Whereas when things got hard, the idea of like getting up, putting on the workout clothes, getting in a car, going to a gym, and then suffering in air quotes through exercises I didn't actually like doing because I thought I had to, just weren't going to work for me. So if you're trying to imagine the person that you were when you were your best self, and you're trying to instantly leap back into being that person, instead of doing that, think back to the person you were before you were so fit. Think back to the person who was just starting back then and honor that person. That version of you was brave enough to start. You don't need to romanticize your best self and ignore the work that it took to get you there. You need to romanticize the version of the you that started to do the work anyway.
Well, and that is so huge. Like, it was the me of over 100 pounds ago that said, like, I need to change something. The me that was like, I need to buy one pair of sweatpants that fit so that I can walk and not have to wear jeans, like, while I'm exercising. The version of me that was brave enough to go, like, you know what, maybe I can start small and just walk our daughter to school. And, like, being that, like, that person is the hero. That is the person that now I am saluting, because she and Donald too, like, they were brave enough to just start somewhere instead of holding on to that, I've got to get back to that peak version of myself.
Yeah. And, you know, we have this tendency to beat ourselves up for letting ourselves, you know, slide backwards into the people that we are now, instead of realizing that we are still those same people and we can take those very first steps again. And you don't need to immediately go into beast mode or ever go into beast mode. You need to find your base mode, your starting out mode.
Oh, I like that.
Well, you wrote it, so I'm going to give you credit for it. So here are some thoughts for getting started to reset your fitness goals. Walk and talk. Use phone calls or podcast listening as a walking opportunity. Stroll around the block. Pace around your kitchen, because movement is movement. I do this all the time at work. Like, if I get a phone call, I really can't stand to be sitting in my chair at my desk.
It is madness. I can't. It's like, I feel like I'm wasting my life away if I'm sitting and talking.
I probably look like a crazy person, but I will get up and either just pace back and forth in my office or actually walk around the halls if I feel like it's not like a private phone call or anything. And then step two, get it? Step two is to set a step baseline. Everybody talks about 10,000 steps. Like, just forget that for now. Throw that out the window. Figure out what is your current average. You know, just track your steps without judgment for a week and figure out what you're averaging per day, and then add 500.
Yeah.
Like, reset your daily goal to something achievable and then make success possible. And then when you hit that goal, really celebrate it and really take that in.
Well, and I think too, this still comes up all the time of these, there are fitness influencers who will be like, well, take your age and divide it by this, and that's how many steps you should get. Take your age and divide it by whatever, and that's how much water, how much protein, how whatever. And those are those like ideal pinnacle, in the best case scenario version of yourself. That is something to aim for. That's like, you know, a North Star of like, that is the direction I'm heading in. But if you're only getting, and this was me in 2015, 10 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yeah.
I was averaging about 1,400 steps a day.
Yeah.
And to go from that to 10,000, I mean, it might as well have been like, go walk 10 miles.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah. It's like, you know, figure out what, you know, the amount of money you're making now, and then have somebody tell you, why don't you just start making $1 million tomorrow? Like, it feels like the same thing. But
resetting and saying, how could I get 500 more steps? Literally, that is like a walk to the cul-de-sac down the street and back. Like, I know what that looks like. I can fit that into my day more than I can fit in 2 miles. So start where you are. And then I know those best rockers salute you. Like, celebration is such a huge part of tiny habits. Celebrating every investment, penny by penny, that you make into your health goals is so huge, because not only is it like, it's not just about like, oh, Catherine and Donald love AC/DC. Like, it actually changes your brain chemistry when you celebrate yourself instead of just booing yourself.
And another tip for this is to figure out some time anchors in your day, some movement anchors, some things that you do every day, and add some movement to them. while your coffee is brewing. You do lunges or squats or jumping jacks, or you just pace, walk in circles around your kitchen while you're heating up your lunch at work in the work microwave. Instead of standing still watching it, you will walk up and down the hall at work, or you even go to a nearby stairwell, walk down one floor and back up one. Right before dinner, as you're making your dinner, you just decide every day you're going to throw on a song and you're going to dance around for one song to get some movement in. All of those little things add up, every day over time, and they eventually become a movement avalanche and start to move the needle.
Well, and two, in Tiny Habits, one of the big distinctions is that it's not a time-based activity. It's not at 8 a.m. I will blank. It is based on that anchor moment. The moment might be a different time of day every single day, but it blends seamlessly into your day. When I turn the microwave on, when I turn the shower on, when I put my shoes on, there are these moments throughout your day, when I sit on the couch with my cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It is not about time. It is about routine and finding those moments where you're oh, what good luck. Oh my gosh, there's 30 seconds on the microwave. I can do 5 counter push-ups, against the counter.
Yeah.
In 15 seconds. And I still have a whole 15 seconds to do other stuff with my life. Hooray!
Exactly.
Time expands, man.
Exactly.
Okay. And so this is actually the next idea is a big one for me. When we get bored, we confuse boredom with lack of motivation, when what we really need is to spice up our routines. And after doing this as I'm Donald is saying, 2015. I'm that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When you find yourself getting bored, it doesn't mean that you don't care about your health. It's that you need another way to get something done. So for me right now, I was getting a little bit we're rebounding a lot, which is fine. But, what we actually did, and I forced Donald into this.
Yes.
Join a challenge. Join a step bet. Get involved with a walking group. There's actually a program called Conqueror, the Conqueror Challenge online, which is easy for Donald to spell when he spells it in the show notes, where you can actually get medals, real actual medals for doing virtual walking challenges. So we are not just using it for steps, but we are using it for the times that we walk outside, because we've been doing a lot of rebounding and in indoor walking, but not as much outdoor seasonal walking. So we're using it for an outdoor walking challenge.
Yeah, and look, they're not a sponsor or anything, but the Conqueror Challenges, they have if you have any inclination towards nerddom too, they have some cool Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, and we ended up going our first one, and we're trying for a Scooby-Doo medal.
Oh, come on, we are meddling kids. Get it? And we're getting a medal because we're meddling kids.
Exactly. So. But they also have medals for non-nerds, cities in Europe and things like that. Van Gogh. But they're very cool medals, and it's fun. You pick up postcards along the way, and you run into in our case, we've run into a zombie and a witch along the way. Yeah,
exactly. But give yourself permission to take it slow. Be the tortoise. You don't have to run into everything and make a giant challenge for yourself. There are some Conqueror challenges that are 1,000 miles, which maybe that's a little ambitious. So we're starting with a 40-mile challenge, and we can talk about that later. But start small and be satisfied with feeling successful. I shouldn't get a medal for walking 40 miles. Start where you are with what you have and feel pride in that.
Well, I think it's really worked in terms of getting us to walk outside more.
Yeah.
I've definitely walked outside a lot more since we started doing this than I was before.
I have walked every single day outside in some small form, whether it's a cul-de-sac or a 2-mile walk. We're getting outside, enjoying summer. So, and then the last one, and we talk about this a lot, is celebrating neat wins, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. vacuuming, housework, parking far away, carrying your groceries, washing your outdoor windows, sweeping the front walk, like doing gardening, walking your dog, all of these little activities throughout the day really do add up. And there are like studies show that like working out at the gym for a half hour a day and then being sedentary and not moving one extra step the rest of the day, like it is great to do that. But if we can intersperse little bits of activity throughout our day, like it really matters in our health, our bone structure, our muscles, like getting in and it's sort of gamifying those small moves really does make a difference in your day. So celebrate all of those wins. Even if you can't, again, having that backup plan, I can't get to the gym today. Well, I can vacuum, I can sweep, I can do something practical that is not only getting a chore done, but it is also getting in movement. And so for me, that is a really big way to get in and actually celebrate. I am moving my body, because the older you get, movement really does matter. Mobility matters, flexibility matters.
And one of the components of this to me is to really try and adjust your mindset away from the idea that the, shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Yeah.
Or taking the easiest point of resistance. Why not try and add some resistance to your life? Like we went to a movie last night, and the theater that we were in was on the second floor, and it wasn't a very large stairwell. I'm not trying to shame all the other people that were there.
It was a lot of stairs, though. I was surprised our teen even went for the stairs, which I was like,
I didn't even offer the escalator. I just went straight for the stairwell, and she followed, and I was like, ha ha.
I seriously was shooketh that she took the stairs.
There were a lot of people who appeared to be in shape young people, and they were all heading for the elevator, and we chose to walk up the stairs to the second floor of the movie theater. And so it's little things like that. It's like, instead of driving around looking for the closest parking space, instead of figuring out the most efficient path through the grocery store, figure out ways that you can, add some friction to those activities that, throughout the course of activities you have to do anyway. We're not talking about being ridiculous or making it painful, but, gamify it. That's what I do. And I think about how can I get the most movement out of this? How can I trick myself into burning the most calories by doing things that I'm going to do anyway, but in a more difficult way, a slightly more less efficient way, so that it burns more calories.
Well, and so often we get stuck in that, which is maybe the most hated phrase in the health journey venture, is I know what I need to do. I just can't get myself to do it.
Yeah.
And what that actually translates as is I am asking way too much of myself right now.
Yeah.
And I just I am setting unrealistic expectations of myself. And so I'm doing nothing. And when we get stuck in that narrative of, unless I can go back to that perfect amount of activity that I had before, when I was going to the gym every day, when I had the trainer, when I was in the running club, when I was training for the marathon, if you hold yourself to that perfect, exacting standard, and then you do nothing until magically life clears a path for you to go back to that.
Right.
It is just magical thinking. And when we go back to those basics and allow ourselves to actually appreciate that, going back to the beginning doesn't mean you are starting over from scratch. You have muscle memory. You have proof that in the past you were able to start small and then build upon that. So starting small and finding success in that, and saluting yourself in whatever capacity you would like, is it builds that confidence. And also you ramp up faster than you did the first time. Just like if you learned a language 10 years ago and haven't used it since, you're not oh no, I haven't spoken. You remember how it goes and you start picking it up more quickly. The same goes for your activity. activity. You build up that confidence. You will ramp up faster the second time than you did the last time because you have that memory, like you know how things go, you know how reps go. So resetting your expectation isn't quitting. It's about being more mature.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I remember I need to, like, starting small means building confidence, building consistency. And then when I am ready to level up, I know how to get there. And consistency beats intensity, especially in the long run. I cannot tell you how many times I was like, I'm going to do this exercise thing for 30 minutes and I'm going to give it my all on day one. And I literally could not walk like downstairs for 3 days afterward.
Yeah.
Right? Like giving intensity does not prove your commitment, right? If you know you're going to be bedridden for 3 days after because you can't walk, like starting small means, hey, I didn't injure myself. I didn't overexert myself. I can do more tomorrow. So we are rooting for the version of you that started, not the peak version of you, but the person that was brave enough to start in the first place. That person who showed up to the gym, who bought the walking shoes, who chose the route, who bought the Fitbit, who like was brave enough to go out when they were uncertain, when they didn't know if they could get something done. We are saluting that version of you and honoring that version in ourselves. The person that was like really overweight and discouraged and like, I didn't know that it was possible. I just was like, well, what if I give it a try today? I'm not going to think about forever. I'm just going to start where I am. One push-up, one walk around the block, one set of small stairs. Starting small builds that success. It builds that, like, that sense that, hey, I can do this. That means I can do more. So remember, your beginner version showed up when things were uncertain. And that's the you need right now, not the peak version, not the like, well, when things were super easy version. You need the beginner version. And if we can salute that version of you, we think you can too.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for listening to this episode of We Only Look Thin. We salute you just for that, not even for you about to walking in addition to. And we have a lot more episodes out there, and the most recent 300 are all available on all of the major podcast platforms, wherever you found this one, and also at any time on our website, which is weonlylookthin.com.
Yep, and if you are at weonlylookthin.com, click on that link for Join Our Support Group to find out more about WOLT Place. We Only Look Thin Place is our Facebook-based accountability group and weekly Zoom coaching meeting group. It's pretty amazing. The value that you get from all of what is available is pretty fantastic. Again, we've got weekly coaching Zoom calls. We've got accountability posts. We do habit challenges. So check us out. We have a monthly subscription with a 3-day complimentary trial and a 3-month subscription with a 7-day complimentary trial to see if WOLT Place is right for you.
Yeah, so please check it out. And you can also check us out on social media. We are at We Only Look Thin on Instagram and Facebook. Or, if you'd like, you can send us an email. We have turned plenty of listener emails into episodes of this show. Plenty.
We've done plenty.
We've done plenty of those.
We have more. Actually, we have to do some more.
So if you have an episode suggestion, if you have a question for us, if you just want to, reach out and say hello and tell us we're doing a good job, we'd like to hear from you. And you can do all of those things to weonlylookthin@gmail.com.
Yep. And if you have a couple of extra minutes, why don't you take a moment and salute us by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. It really does matter after all of these years of putting in these quality episodes, as many as 3 quality episodes.
3 out of 395. Yes.
Exactly. Just leave us a rating and a review. Let us know that what we're doing after all these years is mattering to you. I know that there are people out there who are like, Other people are probably doing it. I don't need to do it. Be a part of the cool kid gang and leave us a rating and a review. We would really appreciate it.
Yes, we would. And another thing you can do that really helps us is just to tell somebody about the show. Word of mouth really does help the show grow, because people in your life, when they hear that you're getting something out of it, they are more likely to believe it and check us out. So if you know somebody who might get something out of the show, or if you're in an internet group, you've heard of the internet, haven't you? Such as Facebook, a Discord server, or perhaps a subreddit, and it makes sense to give us a shout out. We would really be grateful. It really does help the show grow. So if you've spent the last 30 minutes trying to Google Australian recipes for chicken parmesan, please instead remember that Catherine and I are an inspiration.
Please tell me you got more out of the episode than just chicken parm.
The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.